Namaste, Jai Bharat. Yesterday I was talking about a very recently, a very recent phenomenon, a newly emerging political coalition between the left liberals, Islamists, and communists. Now, this had been at work, and yesterday I spoke about three nations: one, the United Kingdom; two, the France; third, Bharat itself, and now the same thing is going to get applied to the United States. If you recall, the kinds of narratives spread, or the kinds of narratives pushed to the people by the opposition parties was something like this. So, democracy is going to be in danger in Bharat. This happened in Bharat. This happened in Bharat before this general election. Democracy is endangered. Secularism is endangered, and constitution is endangered, and the opposition people are carrying the constitution of India in their hands and showing this to make a huge show out of this statement, and it's a kind of threatening the people, the citizens of Bharat, that everything will end if you vote for BJP or Narendra Modi. This is what these are the kinds of narratives they were doing it in Bharat. Now, the same thing happens in the United States. I'll just let you hear a small clip, 35 seconds, I suppose. Just listen to this.
The rhetoric around him over the last few weeks that if he wins an election, our country will end, our democracy will end, it's the last election we'll ever have. These things have consequences. But we have people in this country who are dedicated to telling half the country that if Donald Trump wins an election, the country will end, the Constitution will go away, and so on and so forth. What I want to hear from all elected officials is this kind of hyperbolic extremism has consequences and it must end. Yes, we're all shocked, and yes, political violence has no place. Where does it come from? It's got to stop.
Now, the same templates which were used in the elections for Bharat. Only thing, the language is different. There it's American English, here it was Hindi. That's the only difference. And what kind of threat they are giving to the people. Look at it. It's something like this, what the modern religions do. Fear of punishment and promises of rewards. Precisely they do the same thing. Can't you see some connections between all these operatives which have definite objectives, and they are making their best? But I tell you, these things cannot succeed on a final analysis. They will have to wither away. There are things in this world which stood the test of time. These things are very recent, sporadic. It used to be sporadic, but now it is spreading movements in the evil minds of many evil minds. And these kinds of nexus between the negative forces, where communism and ultra Islamism, no, ultra Islamism gets disguised into communism and get in, and with a kind of narrated, projected pseudo liberalism, and they all say we are secular. Actually, the spelling is wrong. They are not secular, they are secular. This things going on now. It's going to be in the US, but they are not going to make a headway. They are not going to win over, but they will continue struggling, trying. In our nation, in Bharat, there were threats that we will burn this nation If we don't come in power, we'll burn this nation because the constitution is in danger. They're going to change the constitution. And above all, look who says these things. And what is a track history of those people who say this and what they had been doing for the last 70 plus years. How many times they changed constitutions, to what purpose? All these things are there in front of the people, in history, in black and white, through with evidences, and people know it. But in spite of all this, they have the cheek and skin to speak these kinds of things. So this is a new kinds of things evolving in the global arena, where they're trying to focus on, they're trying to attack the emerging strong nations, because first they don't want any nation to be strong, because the moment a nation is strong internally and as well as economically, the moment they are complementary, the moment a nation is strong, their agenda, their program, and their nefarious intentions will not work. So, people of the world, conscious citizens of all nations, please watch out for these pseudo liberals, intellectuals, all these pseudo people. Watch out and employ, exercise your logic, your understanding, and your discretion while voting, no matter in which country, no matter whom do you want to vote, but vote for a society and for the betterment of a society. We somehow had done it this time, but their efforts are internationally organized and are ongoing. One should be aware of it. Till we meet again, Namaste, Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.